Hey DVC fan, Paul, Amy, and my mom coming to you from Disney's Wilderness Lodge today.
We're gonna do the Tasteful Artistry activity. This is something we've been talking about forever,
Forever.
and we've never done it, so we're finally gonna do it. And the other thing I wanted to say is that the spring flowers that they have planted here, during this season are so pretty.
Yep,
So many
it's
colors.
beautiful. Mom, are you excited? Do you know what we're doing?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just like
Along
along
for
for
the
the ride. Yeah, here we are.
This and all of our content is brought to you by the world of DVC, DVC Resale Market. If you're looking to buy or sell a Disney Vacation Club contract, Monera Financial, who can assist in financing that DVC resale contract purchase, and the DVC Rental Store, where you can try before you buy, rent some points, or rent out your own points. So as Amy mentioned, this is something that we have been talking about doing for ever since it was announced here at Wilderness Lodge. So Tasteful Artistry is actually done in Territory Lounge, which is the lounge or bar area connected to Artist Point. And this is offered on Thursdays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And what essentially it is it's a crafting event. So you're going to have the opportunity to make a custom board. This board could be with hooks so that you could hang Run Disney medals or keys or whatever you want on it. Or you can put handles on the board and kind of make it into a charcuterie board type display board, whatever you want. You've got several different logos that you can choose from to actually put on the board itself, and then I think you get to choose whether or not you stain the board and everything. So we're excited to do that because I think that's going to be a wonderful kind of addition to our new home. And I don't know if we've agreed yet on what we're making. I know I have in mind what I want to make, but we'll see what we decide on later. But in case you are interested in this event, just a little information on the cost. So it is $129 plus tax. That is for two guests sharing one board, basically, that you then get to take home with you. You can add additional boards for $60, or you can add additional guests for $40. So we are essentially doing one board today, and then we added an additional guest for $40. Now you might be wondering, why are they charging you just to bring another person along? That's because you get food and beverages included in this event. So you're going to get essentially a sampler, I believe, of some of their territory popcorn that they have here. From what I've seen online, they have a loaded baked potato flatbread that we get to try, or whatever their current seasonal flatbread is. And then you get a selection of wine, beer, unlimited non-alcoholic drinks, and things like that. So all of that is included in the event. They strongly urge you to make a reservation in advance for this event. You can do that by calling 689-282-8375. And we called 2 days before, and there were plenty of availability for the event. So I would say definitely if you are planning in advance, make sure you call in advance. But for us, there was plenty of availability when we called, so we were able to go right in. So we're hanging out at Wilderness Lodge for a little while, and then we'll head in a little bit.
People always think that DVC fan is mine and Paul's full-time jobs, and it's not. I work for Monera, I write loans, I manage the origination team over there, and Paul manages the member relations team at DVC Rental Store. So because we're waiting to check in for our event, and I don't see anybody over the check-in desk yet. It's supposed to be 11:30 to 11:45. It's 11:33, so we're gonna wait. But I'm over here getting some work done at the Wilderness Lodge lobby. It is some nice scenery here to get work done. We also sat outside for a little bit, but it's starting to get kind of sunny. But definitely not a bad place to hang out and work today.
Don't do what I did for 5 or 10 minutes and stand here thinking that the check-in might be here eventually. You actually want to go ahead and go back towards Artist Point. So you can either, there's a staircase down below, I believe, or you can go up the ramp right here. And I originally thought that they were doing this in Territory Lounge, but it looks like they actually are doing the event in Artist Point itself. So we're going to go back and get checked in and ready to go.
There are a lot more options than I thought of stains and I guess you would call this like the photo or whatever goes on it, the graphic. But you are going to have the option for either the hook roll rack thing or I guess we'll call this a tray, but I was really surprised. There's a Run Disney one, there's a Disney Vacation Club one, there's just some general really cute, parks or Minnie or Mickey type ones. So a lot of options. And then there's the Wilderness Lodge one. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the one that we're going to
Yeah.
do as the tray.
This is also cute as well.
Yeah. We are seated at our table now, and just kind of going to give you a rundown of kind of the check-in experience that we went through. So total for this event, so it's $129 for a party of 2 to do 1 board. That includes a couple snacks, as I mentioned earlier, and 1 alcoholic beverage per person. For another $40, you can just bring another person with you. But when we actually checked in, they were smart in telling us that for an additional $20, so $60 total, you could actually do 2 boards and have 3 people. So essentially that is what we did. So $129 for the 2 people, and then another $60 for that added board. Total after tax and everything came to $201.29. So we'll come back to you near the end and let you know, do we think it was worth it? But we are doing 2 boards now instead of 1. After you get checked in, you are presented with a couple different vouchers. So first, you actually get you get the voucher to go collect your artwork or your art board. So you actually walk to the back of Artist Point, and that is where you will select the actual board and the actual design that you are putting on that board. At the time of check-in, that's also where they have all of the paint and all of the stain and that kind of stuff. We will make those selections a little bit later. They asked me, and I was like, Amy needs to be here for that. I can't make that decision on my own. And then also you get a voucher for your alcoholic beverage, which they will come around and collect whenever you order that later. So after that, they take you to your table. It's got a cute little kind of plaque on it that says the Krieger Party and has all of the stuff that we are going to need to do our crafting. So let's have some fun.
They give you 1 plastic apron per board, and they ask that the person who's going to be doing basically most of the staining to put the apron on to keep it off of your clothes. So Paul's going to put the apron on. Christy's going to put the apron on. I'm going to be the supervisor. Okay, it's a little funny. It's kind of like a bib.
Basically a bib. They shouldn't call it an apron.
Yeah.
Was yours put together? Oh, mine was apart. Maybe have it backwards.
You don't have it all the way open.
Oh,
You got it open.
Paul's mom has to teach him how to use an apron first.
thanks, Mom.
Oh, that's what I'm running.
2 hours later. There we go. Now we're cooking.
I think you got it.
So it is an apron. Good, that'll protect your shirt.
You got it.
Again, correcting what I mentioned earlier, we are actually in Artist Point, not Territory Lounge. I think they previously did this in Territory Lounge, but we are actually in the Artist Point restaurant. We have our boards sitting in front of us, ready to go. And I think what I'm most excited about is that we are right next to the buffet. So it looks like they've already put some of the popcorn out, and they will bring out looks like loaded baked potato flatbread, other popcorn, and that kind of stuff. So we've started the staining part of our boards now. I'm still putting my rubber gloves on. I will say I'm not an artist at heart, even though I have a music education degree. I can barely draw a stick figure, so I'm very nervous about screwing this up. But Amy's trusted me with it, so it's gonna live in our house no matter what.
I'm not sure why you're doing that. I'm doing this. It almost seems like
Because it's a fun role reversal. We're having it's a son and mom bonding experience.
There we go. Pudding. I'm just kidding. She said if you did it a certain way, it would look too much like pudding.
Mm-hmm.
They've added some light, so you have an individual light. That helps you to see and understand the stain a little bit better. So, doing a good job over here.
Yeah, thanks.
I thought those were blemishes, but those are the holes for the handles.
Yeah. It's definitely a little nerve-wracking because, like, I don't know, you want it to look good, but it's also, like, I've never stained anything before in my life that I remember, so.
I, on the other hand, I've actually stained quite a bit of things, but it's cool to make someone else do it.
Maybe you can do the other side.
That's okay. That looks like a lot of work. I don't have an apron.
All right, Mom, first part of the staining done. What do we think?
I think it's really pretty, and
Yeah?
I think it'll look really nice, and I like the color.
I am currently waiting for mine to dry so that I can flip it over and stain the other side. The one that is like the hook or key rack that Mom did, they recommend that you don't stain the other side of that since it's going to be against the wall. So it's just less stain you have to use.
All right, we grabbed some snacks. So it's loaded baked potato flatbread and a variety of popcorn. So I got some of the truffle popcorn, the caramel popcorn, and the barbecue. There's also a spicy and a sea salt popcorn. And then servers come around and will ask what you want to drink. I was hoping I could get a mocktail, but it says no specialty cocktails, mocktail. So basically it's wine or beer. So
Soft drinks.
or soft drinks. So I'll probably get an iced tea. But if you wanted some wine while you did your staining, like Paul, he looks like he could use a beer, then you can have some. All right, so there was a variety of paint colors you could pick. I went with 3 different bluish, tealish colors just to get a little contrast, thinking that maybe Welcome Home will be in one color and the Mickey in the other. And then Paul went to go pick out his colors to see what he might want for his Wilderness Lodge tray. Tell me about your color options there.
I loved how it was designed out front when we came in, the different Wilderness Lodge logo. So I went with the same color options. So the top of where it says Disney's and some of the trees and mountains will be the lighter color. Then we'll move on to like the bear and the wilderness in the green, and then we'll go full dark green at the end for the lodge. We ate while we waited for our boards to dry before we actually paint the logo or the stencil. The food that was brought out, it sat there for a while. So like the flatbread sat for a while and they were pretty cold by the time that we actually ate them. They did bring out a couple a little bit later that were a little bit warmer. I will say on the whole, there's not a lot of flavor going on there. The popcorn, it's good. It's a nice popcorn, but these are definitely lighter bites. So don't come here expecting maybe to fill up for lunch, I would say, unless you're like a light eater. It is just some lighter bites and snacks. We are probably about an hour into the class already, and they're slowly making their way around to get your drink orders. So that's not yet, occurred. But the crafting part's fun. I mean, if you like crafting, I think that you would like just sitting here and enjoying the ambiance, the music, and having some fun.
Paul is getting he's getting his stencil ready. So this is the hardest part because you have to get the stencil affixed to the wood because he's working on hers. If you need help, if you get it to the stage that Paul is at, they will come and plop it down for you.
Amy has traded out with my mom for the painting portion of the event here, and we are going multiple blue. We have all kinds. We have a lot of paint going on here. You painted the plate more than you've painted your
Well, because it's not supposed to be, there's not supposed to be a ton of paint on it. Okay, I consider myself a painter because I painted as I don't want to say profession, as a job when I was in college. Not with makeup sponges. That's not my forte. So
She refuses to use painting tape at home anytime we paint any walls or anything like that. So apparently we put our stencils on wrong, so we did get painter's tape around the edges. I don't know if we were off center. I don't know what. I think it looks great. My board's going to be a little bit special. It's going to have a little bit of character to it. I've gotten the first coat done on the upper portion, and now I'm going to transition to green. We have to do 4 coats of this stuff, so it's going to take a little bit time, and Mom's just kind of hanging out, supervising off to the side.
she mentioned doing 5 or 6 coats. I'm only on my second coat. I don't know that I need 5 or 6, but maybe like another 1 or 2 coats. My paint, it looks like it's everywhere, and that's because it's supposed to be light. If you come in here with heavy paint, you're gonna get paint sopping up underneath of it. So you're gonna dab it light so it kind of seals around the edges first. So that's why I have paint all over it, because I kind of scraped it off some. I guess I could have done that on the side. Paul, on the other hand, does not have any paint on his plate. He's doing all right there. But we'll see what happens when we actually pull them off and what sticks and what doesn't. So
I'm enjoying the painting part a lot more than I enjoyed staining. Staining felt like there were too many things that went wrong, and this is more detailed, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. We're doing pretty good. This is the cleanliest I've painted ever. Amy is more the definition of, she gives me the slop train this time around, and I'm being very neat and organized over here. So I'm very, very impressed.
they gave me a new plate because my old one was, but that's because I was scraping paint off so that I didn't have too much. I did 3 coats. I don't know that it really needs any more. I'm gonna let it dry and see what I think. But so I did 3 different colors, every other, to try to give it a little different contrast. We'll see what happens.
Mom and I are just kind of hanging out as we wait for our boards to dry as the class kind of winds down. What are your thoughts of this experience?
I think it's been fun. I think some of the paintings are really, really neat. Not so much for the food, but this isn't really for the food. But it's really very nice.
Yeah,
It's a fun afternoon.
yeah. I said to her a minute ago, it's cool to just not have to go into the parks to be able to experience this. If you want just a relaxing day at the resort, you can jump in the pool in the morning and hang out, and then come here and do this in the afternoon, and then you've got the rest of the day ahead of you. So
Very nice.
we're gonna let our boards dry, and we got to put handles and hooks on, and then start to wrap things up.
I think this is a lot of fun. I'll let you know for sure after the final product, because if I completely botch this, then I might not feel the same way. But I'm really excited, and I'm glad we decided to do 2, because I'm gonna hang this somewhere, maybe in my office or somewhere else, and we'll probably put the tray on our living room, coffee table. But definitely come for the craft. It's worth it. The instructors are great. It's a fun process. There's multiple parts to it, so you're not really bored. I think we originally were going to do 3 people with 1 board. I'm glad we got a second one. If you're with 2 people, you might want to do 2. You might want to pay the extra so that you both kind of, or take turns, doing parts of it. But don't come for the snacks. They're just okay. They're like more of an afterthought, just a little addition. But definitely come and do the craft, and you'll have something cool you can take home with you.
This is the moment of truth where we peel the stencil off and see how bad we screwed up. I'm very nervous. It also involves tweezers, but we will pull the stencil first. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Mine has all these like little inner pieces.
You have a lot of places that need tweeze. Yeah.
And me and the tweezers are going to be good friends for a while.
Yeah, I hope you're working on that for a while. I've still got a little bit. She told me I had to touch up my darker ones and fix this one because I accidentally painted the wrong color at one point. So, getting there.
Finished peeling the stencil off, and I think we're pretty successful here. We got the Wilderness Lodge logo. All the paint kind of stayed on as I pulled the stencil pieces off. That was probably the most nerve-wracking part for me. And now we just kind of wait. I don't think, Amy, you mentioned this, I don't think we've put the hardware on. We might take it home with us.
I'm not sure, yeah.
You get it in a little baggie.
Yeah.
And I think they allow you to then just take it home to install once you get home. Since
Yeah,
so many people
it's pretty easy. The holes are pre-drilled already, so it's just screwing it in there.
Yeah, so we're kind of about wrapped up here, and I'm happy with how it turned out. This is the exact board I always pictured doing in coming to do this class, and we've been talking about it for like 2 years. So
Yeah. Gotta peel it.
the moment of truth for Amy's board. Here we
I
go.
only have one, the O.
Oh yeah, you've got it
that
easy.
needs
I had these
my
trees
tweezers.
and the bear and the
Yeah.
mountains and all this other stuff over here, but no, we just have the center of an O. So
Still, the suspense here is killing me. Like, it feels like it takes an hour to peel this off.
rip it. The facial expression is better than the actual
I am gonna
board.
have to take the W too. There's actually more that's not gonna come off than you think. Had to ask Paul to peel it for me, and he's gonna get the last stencil piece, which is the O. And I love how it turned out. I love the colors I chose. Love it. And so there's going to be 4 different hooks that are going to go in here so you could hang things off it. I'm going to hang it in my office, I think. That's so cute. And then Paul's turned out really great too. These are the hooks that go on. So there's 4, and they've already got the holes pre-drilled for them. So that'll be cool. I don't know that we put these on. I think we wait until we go home and it dries a little bit more, but it is dry. Love it. It turned out great. The flowers that they have for spring at Wilderness Lodge are so pretty. Love this. You can see there's some like bumblebees, pollinators coming over. Very pretty out today. It is April. I think that this Sunday is Palm Sunday, so just to give you an idea, it says it's 81 degrees out, but I have a sweatshirt on and I'm comfortable. It's really nice. So over here, I'm showing Christy around Wilderness Lodge. Geyser Point obviously is right there, and you can see a lot of the construction going on over there at the Lakeshore Lodge. A lot of cranes. Pluto just came over to see Christy. You look tired, Pluto. I hope you get some good food with all the stuff around here. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Thank you. We purposely did not go over to see Pluto because there were a lot of kids that were excited to see him, and they kind of said there's no line, he's just walking around, you can follow him around, you know, he might turn around. So we didn't really want to get in the way of like the families and the kids. So I don't know what happened. We're just sitting here, just me and Kirsty, and I'm minding my own business on the phone, and he comes over to see her. So I thought that was kind of cute. I love that they have characters walking around in the lobbies. They seem to be doing that more often now. Donald Duck was over there as well. So that's really cool.
We have wrapped up Tasteful Artistry, and we are headed to the car outside of Wilderness Lodge. But did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, it was a great experience. Honestly, worth it to have that, I guess, souvenir for most people. For us, it's going to be something that we can use in our house. And it was a fun experience. The person that does it, the instructor, she is not a Disney cast member. Like they must hire in from outside, but she also does a similar thing that's a circle at Fort Wilderness, and I'd like to go try that sometime too, because she said there's a lot of different designs and people will hang those up and do different things with them as well.
Yeah, that's on Tuesdays around the same time as this. Again, this was on a Thursday, 12 to 2. We'll put information in our article on DVC Fan, but there's a phone number to call to make reservations. They do strongly urge you to make reservations, more so for the Fort Wilderness class than this class, but they do like to have reservations so that they can know how many boards to bring and kind of how things went. Mom, a good addition to your trip down here?
Absolutely, and it brought me to Disney World.
Yeah.
And when you were busy writing an article, you had to sit in the lobby.
Oh.
We went and walked around because this was her first time at Wilderness Lodge, so she got to check out the resort a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
so fun little resort activity for sure. So that's going to do it for our Tasteful Artistry afternoon here. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to our DVC Fan YouTube channel. For bonus behind the scene content, head to patreon.com/DVCFan, and we will see you guys for the next one.